Now, I find this to be fascinating, not because a couple of athletes decided to write religious psalms on their uniforms, or the fact that they were punished for it, but the fact that they couldn't fire them is why I find it fascinating, because you can finally see how the LGBT activists are losing a lot of power. I remember a couple of years ago, during the peak of the mental illness that we now call the Summer of Love in the United States, where you had a player from LA Galaxy whose wife tweeted something edgy about riot in the United States. And because the wife tweeted that, and after a while she even deleted it, the football player got into problems, right? Because of what his wife tweeted. And they forced him to apologize on behalf of his wife. Then they forced him to apologize on behalf of himself. Then they fired him anyway, and as he goes out, there's a crowd of people that were very aggressive towards him. And so, like, that was the peak of the power of intersectionality. If you didn't comply, they could literally crush you. And so, what is the power of LGBT activism now? Well, apparently a couple of football players were given a slap on the wrist, right? They were given a small warning. And so you can see a massive decline in power. And so the question is like, why is it happening? Like, how did it get to this point? Well, I believe that the main reason for it is a loss of legitimacy for the LGBT movement. Legitimacy came for the LGBTs when they actually delivered something for the gays. So if you are in a society as a gay person back in the day and you couldn't find a job the moment, companies find out that you're a homosexual, or maybe your kids are getting beaten in school because they're gay. In that society, like, yes, there can actually be a case for, like, we're promoting meritocracy, let's start treating everyone equally, right? Like, his sexual orientation doesn't matter if he's a plumber. His sexual orientation doesn't matter if he throws a ball at a sports event. And so in that society, if you actually create an LGBT organization and you're actually giving gay people an increase in the public polling, well, you have legitimacy, right? Like, there is a reason on why people should donate and support your organization. But what we're noticing now is the opposite of that. Like, in the last 10 years, we notice a decline in approval for homosexuals and transgender people. And so people are looking at the activists and it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like, your job is to increase approval or at least maintain it. And for the last 10 years or so, you have done literally the opposite while making millions, if not billions of dollars, and you're getting all of this prestige, and your activists are moving around in circles with politicians and stuff. And it's like, what the fuck are you actually doing for the people you're doing activism on their behalf? And the answer is jack shit, right? And if the answer is jack shit, then the legitimacy crisis follows. And in order to make threats, you need legitimacy. Like, you need the people that actively support you and they championing you. And if those people don't show up, if the donations dry up, then eventually you lose the ability to punish religious sports players for trying to promote the religions that their grandmother had. Now, here's the interesting thing. Why exactly did the public polling fall down? Well, it's because the activist groups, they overreached, right? They transformed the LGBT activism into a religion. And they did it because it was profitable, not because they sincerely believed in it. So what I mean by this, notice how LGBT activism isn't just a moral issue. Like, a person that doesn't believe or actively campaigns against gay rights isn't treated the same way we treat average immoral people. That, let's say, like, a guy is a drunk or a guy likes to gamble. You know, we treat him as an immoral person, like he's got some issues that shouldn't be copied. But, like, either than that, you can still make business deals or hang out with that person, right? No, being anti-gay was viewed as the worst thing you can do, like, I guess, comparable to genocide. In fact, that's what they accused J.K. Rowling of doing for not supporting trans rights. And so that is a person you cannot associate with. That is a person you cannot do business with. That is a person you cannot say positive things about. It's a person that has to be excluded from society and eventually crushed. And many people stopped agreeing with that, logic and narrative, right? Because most people genuinely do not hold homosexual views to be at the standard of committing genocide, right? Like, they do not consider it as something sacred. And so the LGBT activists, they try to force people to consider it sacred by making slogans such as silence is violence. And so they created an atmosphere where you couldn't just not care about it. Like, you were forced to care. When you went to the workplace, you were asked your pronouns, and they would put like a little pronoun in front of your email. When you went for a job resume, they would ask your pronouns. When you're watching a Twitch stream about the video games, you get to see the pronouns of the people there. You're constantly considered to be homophobic if you choose not to wear the rainbow armband, right? And so, like, all of these things put together have soured the public's opinion on LGBT rights. And the LGBT people themselves have also been soured by the way the activists have treated them. And you can notice this, that they had their little civil war a couple of years ago about LGB without the T. And a lot of gay people and lesbian people claiming, you know what, we think that the Republicans, out of all people, are now representing our interests far better than the Democrats are, and the activists. And so you end up in a situation where you have football players that are now transgressing, and they can't actually fire them, push them off the team, or even fine them. Like, what the club owner did is a symbolic punishment where he verbally disagrees with them. But you can see that he is now terrorized himself, right? He realizes that the people that he is trying to please, which is the advertisers and the consultants, they cannot defend him anymore. Like, if he was to take a hard stance against this issue, he would be losing more fans than he already is. And so you can notice that they are actually afraid of being too invested into the culture war. And I think all of this started with Bud Light, right? Like, that was the thing that shocked the corporation industry, because corporates, they now operate based on risk aversion. And so up until now, it was like, well, what's the risk in upsetting the people who aren't activists? Because the people who are activists, they're connected, they're engaged, they boycott, they harass, they threaten, they do all the things, right? So, like, what happens if you piss off the people who aren't the activists? Well, not much. You know, they trend a little bit on social media, and then they shut the fuck up. And so if you're a risk-averse company, well, ass-kissing the activists makes a lot of sense. Yet, Bud Light has changed all that. Bud Light has shown that if you start insulting normal people now, you will get a backlash so significant that it can actually destroy your brand. Target was next in line, other companies followed, and so now corporations are legitimately terrified because they have to be in the culture war in order to get prestige. But at the same time, they realize that the people they're allying with cannot actually defend them as well as they used to in the past. And so, yeah, I do think that the LGBT issues are at the crossroads now. We'll see what happens. Basically, the way it works is like, who gets the first martyr? Right? Like, the sympathetic person that's sympathetic to normal people who suffers. If you get like an innocent gay person or something like that that's being attacked by the normies, and most people view it as he didn't deserve it, then the LGBT increases in prestige, right? Because LGBT people getting afraid, they start donating more to their activists, they start asking the politicians to do more. Whether if you get another Charlie Kirk event, then the anti-LGBT people get to win, right? So this is where the crossroads is at. Who gets the first martyr? If nobody gets a martyr, then you're going to still have like the current status quo where both ideologies can coexist. So you're going to have like some football players having psalms in the future, some football players having LGBT rainbow, and that is usually how, historically, an ideology dies. An ideology dies by boredom. Like, when people are bored and stop caring about it is a lot worse than if people hate it. Because hatred is a place very close to love. It's an emotion that requires passion. And you need to care about something in order to hate it. When people don't care and they're bored, that's when they stop supporting it. That's when they stop showing up. That's when they stop caring about it. And that is the actual death. And so if we don't get the martyr soon for either side, and the situation continues, yes, I do think that the LGBT activism in its current corporate form, with speech codes, with telling people what to think and what to say, and rainbow armbands and all of that, that's going to go away. And if it remains boring for 5 or 6 years, when someone tries to bring it back, it will be viewed as cringe. So mark my words on what I'm saying, okay? Unless, of course, we get a martyr on either side. Like if it's a martyr that's Christian, that's beloved by a lot of people, and he's kind and compassionate, and he gets treated unfairly because of his ideology, then you will see a massive crackdown. If it's a gay guy or some competition that just wanted to have like a rainbow flag and they were persecuted because of that, then you'll see the backlash on the opposite side, with a lot of more Democrat supporters popping up out of the woodwork. We'll see what the future brings, but for the next 2 or 3 years, I do think that the situation is going to become more and more boring. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.